Okay, we're live. Welcome, everybody. I am Paul Ash. With me in studio is, well, it's more than just Butt. It's Abdul Butt, who originally from Montreal, but has spread his wings across Canada, has been a writer for This Hour's 22 Minutes, has been on CBC's Debaters, has just did well, just before COVID happened, he did a national tour with Derek Seguin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is true. Yeah.
And you have Bacon No Bacon, which is your podcast that you and Derek do, and that's still running weekly on which it's a network based out of BC, is it not?
Yeah, comedy here often. It's a new network. They just started up about 2 weeks ago, and we
Sweet,
launched with them. Yeah.
sweet. Well, that's always a good start. How you been? How you've been through all this craziness that's been happening?
Good, Paul. I'm getting ready. Gonna go on a cruise tomorrow. Just enjoying life. Things are great, Paul. Thanks for asking.
Thanks for asking. Yeah, all right. Yeah, no, just Mr. Inappropriate here. That's always what
Things are
I've
great,
sort of
man.
been. I'm just gonna switch us over a little bit, just a little bit of a
Oh,
flip. That way, when time comes, I can put you in the big window.
I
Just
gotta say, I really like the setup, man. Very cool. Very
uh,
pro. So
thank you. Just
long way from the what was the show? What was the show? Oh, I
the
can't remember.
the Kick-Ass comedy show, the one
The
that
Kick
happened in
Ash
the
comedy
Amir.
show in
Where,
Amir, before Amir even. What
yeah,
was
even
that
before there was the
that
first.
bar? It was the
It became a free to
downstairs
lore. It
basement.
was the downstairs. I think it was called the downstairs bar. No, it wasn't downstairs. Strangers. Café de l'Étranger was the first place,
Right,
and then it was the Emir, and then it was over to Andrew's Pub. That was
right, yeah.
yeah.
That's where it died.
It it was
I'm-
killed. It was killed. That was
it was killed. Yeah,
that's the sad part
that's
about
a
it.
great little show. I love the Amir room. I think was by far the best.
With the exception that they would sometimes lock the door just after the show
Yes,
started, and so people showing up late couldn't get in.
kind of
Uh,
cool though. It was a late show though, right? Wasn't that like
yeah,
an 11 or something?
no, it started I think at 9. Started at 9.
I have no
Uh,
concept of time anymore, Paul Ash. Who
are you hold it?
knows?
You're a parent?
Am I a parent? No, I'm
Yeah.
not a parent.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
We're
Kids
locked
sort
up
of.
indoors. I don't. At least I don't think there's a kid. Can you see the kid that's here? You're not supposed to see that.
Don't get QAnon involved on this one. We are. All right. So you had like an incredible arc in how you arrived. Like you started with, was it CKUT or not? What was you were doing the streeters
Yeah,
first?
no. I tried to get in with that CKUT. They didn't like me. They
Really? Okay.
they didn't like me. Yeah, they didn't. We did a couple of things, and then I remember doing a video once with a buddy of mine, and yeah, they didn't like it. It was like a streeter on the street thing, and then I went out and
Was
bought my own camera.
so that one, the one that you did for them, that wasn't the Occupy Wall Street streeter?
That was the one that I did do. I did do that for them, and they
Okay.
didn't. They didn't want it. They didn't like it. They thought it
And,
was very mean.
and,
Uh,
and your second one that you did, that was the one that that's the one that took off for you.
yeah,
That
that was yeah.
had you done stand up at that point?
I did do stand up at that point. I was doing stand up, but it was really hard to get spots. You remember? I mean, you were the. It was your show, and the Works had an open mic,
And the Nest had,
and the Nest was always canceled because Ernie had just died, and his kids took it over, and it was like a juggling match to keep it going good. And yeah, it was always canceled every time I'd show up. You remember then the
yeah,
days? There
I,
was nothing.
that's sort of like when I moved back. I used to be like Ernie's boy, and
Yeah,
then when I lived away, and then when I came back, it was like everything had changed. Uh,
yeah.
but yeah, it was hard to get
I
spots. But then you hit that. How many views did you get on that? That was you. It was people protesting the fact that there was an English coach hired for the Montreal Canadiens.
I think
So
now it's not that much views, but back then it was a lot. It was a big deal. It's still, I mean, it hit. I mean, it had 100,000 views. I think is like in a week. It hit that, and that's what was I think the big deal back then. But nowadays, that seems like hardly anything. Seems like you need so much more.
This is only hitting 13,000 views. So
13,000 views. That's pretty good, man.
It's since COVID. Since COVID, all the things that I've been doing since COVID started. That's where I hit. It was like I was 26 away last week, and I did 2 shows since then. So probably hit over. And if anyone wants to ask any questions, I can see we got a few viewers now. Just drop your questions into chat, and we can ask Abdul. Now, this hour is 22 minutes. Sort of jumped on that one, the one with you were interviewing the people protesting the coach, and was it a week later or so they had Sean jumped to try to recreate your.
They did it the same night. They were there the same night. It was a protest one night. They did it. I didn't even know they were there. I had no idea. I just saw it after my video. I put my video right away as soon as I did it, and then it kind of exploded. And then theirs came out the following week, and everybody thought they copied me, but they didn't. They were there at the same protest.
Oh, okay, all right,
Yeah,
because I was under the impression that it sort of had copied. Now, did you get interest right away from this hour? Because you eventually were a writer.
No, I didn't.
No.
I didn't get any interest from them at all. I think I only got interest that summer. I met one of the cast members at Just for Laughs, and and someone had introduced. Actually, Mike Patterson had totally was like hyping me up, and then they ended up looking at my stuff and they liked it, and I didn't hear back for like 6-7 months. I just thought nothing of it. I was like, there's nothing gonna happen here. And then they asked me, they reached out in like March the following year and asked me to shoot a teaser, and shot a piece, and it did. They said it did well in the studio audience, never aired. And again, I didn't hear back for like 3-4 months, and just thought nothing of it again. And then they reached out and asked me if I'd wanted to come do the show. That's how that happened.
That's how that happened. Well, congrats. That was kind of a big step. How that was like, that's within
I'm over
a year.
It, Paul. It's a long time.
Yeah, I know. But like within a year, you went to, well, a year and a half. You went from struggling to get on open mics to getting a 100,000 views on YouTube to getting a job offer from a national TV show.
Yeah, you're right. I guess when you put it in that perspective, it does seem like it's all. But at that time, you're like, what the hell am I doing? Why isn't anything working? They reached out to me. Now they're not talking to me. Do they not like me anymore? What happened? It's you never really enjoy that ride until you do Paul Ash's show and he mentions it and you go, oh yeah, that's true. I guess if you put it like that, it seems like a lovely story with no stress involved.
I thought you were going to say until you see Paul Ash's show and see where he's been in the past for 14 years. It just but
this is my glory right here, buddy. Doing your show, that's my glory. Woo! I'm enjoying this.
Damn it! I break the drinks out for the next show, the Wednesday night show, or else I'd be drinking here. There's now, how much, like when you were writing stand up, when you were starting stand up, did you have dedicated writing? Because I always saw you as like more the interview guy, like a large part of sarcasm was a big part of your humor, but you had your interviews, you had your streeters. When you were doing your stand up, like what was your writing process like?
Writing process. I'm not really like a write it out all word for word, kind of just point form of where I'm going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess, I mean, I write it out. I write it out and I try to remember where I'm going with it. And then I try to like enjoy the moment as well. Sometimes, like you've said, just enjoy the moment and not just go scripted into the stand-up bits, kind of toy around and then get into a bit and see where it goes.
And you have an album out that's called "Is This It?"
Yeah, I just put that
Sort of
out.
just
Yeah.
goes with that attitude. It just, is this it? Like,
Who
I
knows?
did all this stuff. Is that this it?
Is that what you guys call stand up? Here it is. Just try this.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I just put that. Yeah, I put that out about a month ago, not even, and yeah, just luckily had a little recording laying around from January before all hell broke loose.
was that recorded when you were on the road with Derek?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah. It was actually recorded. The first joke on it was recorded in Bathurst, New Brunswick, and then the rest of it's in Fredericton.
Hmm.
I love New Brunswick.
Bathurst.
Love the Maritimes, dude. You're a Maritimer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Love it out there.
I don't know why it just sounded like I was like from Fargo. Just oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Because
But
you're from the Maritimes. That's what you. Oh
from
yeah.
the,
Where you're from? Not Antigonish. Where are you from?
I tell people Halifax because no one knows Porter's Lake.
Porter's Lake. Yeah, good call. Because I have no idea where that is. Sounds like a horrible place.
It's actually it's really pleasant.
It's
I
gotta
noticed that
be.
we've got a bunch of new viewers coming in. If you're interested, just pop a question into the chat. We'll bring it up
How do you say that?
for Abdul.
You
Abdul
mentioned the
Butt.
Maritimes, and like that, you're nailing it. People are just clicking,
Magically,
logging on.
they all pop in.
Maritimers are very supportive, Paul.
They are. I like. If it was a larger market, I'd probably still be living there, but it's not. So
I think, well, who knows? Is there really a market anymore? There's no point being anywhere else. Go back there.
just being
There's no
on.
shows here.
Well, all my shit's in Montreal at this point, so I kind of have to. I'll stay where my shit is, and I'll put the shows online so people can watch from all over. If you're watching, just tell us where you're watching from and say hello. Say hello to Abdul. Now, your brother's also in the entertainment business. Did you find that helped or hindered you?
I don't know. I don't know if it helped or hindered me. I'm sure it probably helped me in some fashion, I imagine, but it didn't really help me at the start. I didn't get any. He didn't really give me any bumps or any pushes at the start. You know, when you're starting out, it's kind of like figure your own stuff out, and then once you get going, okay, definitely helps me out with stuff now and promoting things and that. But
Well, he had toured, and you helped put together like Derek's tour, so you could have gone to him for advice, or were you working that out yourself, or
for my brother,
yeah? I mean,
not really. I think it's kind of different. It's a different world. As much as it's like kind of similar and it's a gig, you're always looking for gigs. I think it's very different, man. Musicians have it. It's weird. It's definitely very different, but it's hard. I think harder. They think we have it harder, but I think they have it harder. Especially if they have to split it all. They split their money between the whole band.
the whole band, yeah.
I don't know how the hell they make money. It's five guys. We're two comedians are fighting over paychecks these days. So we got five guys. Do we really need a guy to play the cello? Can we get another?
Why do we bring the horn section for two songs? They're just two fucking songs. Let's put them on a track. There's, because we hate the synth guy. That's why we're bringing along the horn section.
Right.
Now, okay, so a lot of it. Do you work out a lot of it? I know that you said you put it in point form, just to bring it back to writing, because that's kind of what this show's about.
Okay.
You say you put it.
It's not about jujitsu, Paul.
Jiu-jitsu.
We're not talking about jujitsu tonight. All right, go ahead.
That looks like it's going to be a wonderful program.
What do you not know about writing?
Well, you wrote for This Hour's 22 Minutes. You were an on-air personality for them, which I know meant that you were involved with the writers' room. You did. You've done the Debaters, which is, pre-written.
Yeah. We can talk about any of that. What do you want to know? Just ask. Get it out, Paul. Just ask.
You keep cutting me off, man. Anytime
I'm sorry, buddy. I haven't been out of the house a lot.
But you're wearing the hat to keep the sun out of your eyes.
Dude, I got the light hooked up here. I got to get the light out of my eyes.
Yeah, that's one of the things I remember telling you when you first started coming out to the open mics, because you wore the hat lower then. Was let us see your eyes.
Well, Paul, you used to have a spotlight that was this big that would just beam right at us at the stage. You'd feel the heat, the sweat. It wasn't even from the nervousness. There was just sweat dripping off of me the moment I walked on stage. I'm not even sure that was legal to have in a bar that small.
I built that light myself.
I'm sure you did. I don't know. I don't know where else you would have gotten a light that bright, Paul.
So if you are ever putting on your own comedy show, make sure that the acts are lit, even if they complain like this guy or this guy. I got to get the finger points right. That's kind of the hard part. Okay, so you say you write down point form about what you're going to talk about, but you're not as concerned about word for word. How much time do you dedicate working out the thoughts before you bring it to the stage, or do you like to work it out on the stage?
I kind of like to used to work it out on stage, and I find I still do, but I prepare more, I think, before going up. But I like to try and have more multiple points. I'll first go up and just try it, I think, is the first thing I do at an open mic. Then I try to snowball and build off of it. Maybe find a show that's a good show and squeeze that newer joke afterwards. It's starting to get built up. You squeeze it in the middle, try and build it up a little bit more. If it starts to tank, you work on to something else. It's just a snowball effect. It takes time.
Now your tour with Derek, how many nights was that?
Now that's something I like because you're on the road every day and you're doing shows. Sometimes we do like, 2 shows a night sometimes we start on a Wednesday, do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So, and then sometimes you're doing 2 shows a night or one at least a night. So you can like start a joke on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. By Saturday, you're like, I've got something. I think like you can build it faster.
Now once you've got it built, do you vary it much from that, or do you?
I just try to remember it after. Once it's built, now the hard part is trying to remember the whole thing. I don't have ADD. At least I've never been diagnosed, but I do have a short attention span. So sometimes I just get carried away. And even like I record myself sometimes, I go, what? I just abandoned that bit. Why did I stop? I just went somewhere else completely. Like I was supposed to nail that one down. So yeah, sometimes it does get in my way.
Well, it's definitely seems to be working for you. What would be like one of your favorite moments on the road from that tour?
Oh, one of my favorite moments.
Yeah. Oof. I'm asking the tough questions.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's so many good ones. I think the best part of like doing tours like that is the people, like getting to meet the different types of people and like people that come out to shows, and depends on where you are, or like for example, like Bathurst, that was a fun town, just wild. It's middle of nowhere. You're like, it's just those to me, that's the funnest, is like getting out to those small places and like you have a good time. The crowds are fun. They're not thinking about.
They have so few options for entertainment. Like when you coming to town is a huge thing. Like that's being a comic on the road. Like in the early days of Yuck Yucks, they were sending people up north. Like, you'd be the only entertainment that they saw like in 3 months. And the same thing, you're getting a little blurry. I don't know what you're drinking.
I lose focus there. All right, here we go. I don't know why it's. Oh, there we go.
There we are.
We've got ourselves.
But yeah, that's one of the things about the small towns. That's one of the beautiful things about touring in Canada. I mean, you've also toured down to the States, right? You've done done shows in the States.
I've done shows in the States. Yeah, I haven't toured, but it's. I don't know. I haven't done. I feel like I would have. Like I'd love to get a longer kick at the States than I just did because of COVID. Right. But because it is an interesting place, and the crowds are very interesting, and they vary very differently from like 20 minutes apart from another town or city. It's just they're so different. You could be 20 minutes and they're city people, 20 minutes and they seem like they're rural, even though you're still in a city. Yeah. America's a very interesting spot.
You were you showcasing, or do you have your work visa, the green card?
I do have the green card.
You have the green card. So
Yeah, yeah.
you're not quite yet an alien of extraordinary abilities, or do you
I
just a
am.
work?
Yeah, that
Oh,
is
that's
what I have. Yeah.
okay. Alien of extraordinary ability. That's what every Canadian from Abdul Butt to Superman. Aliens of extraordinary abilities. Will Flynn saying Abdul is a funny guy, and the audience
Fuck
seem
that
to
guy.
always like him. Does he consciously work on his likability with the audience? So that's
Well,
what
that's
Will's
a
question.
great question, Will. I try to hate the audience even more every show, and somehow it works. They actually enjoy it. They want to be treated like garbage every show. Just show up late, chew gum while you're on stage. All those things work good.
What do you think are your three greatest skills as a comic? Like Will
Three
saying your
greats.
likability.
Yeah, I'd say my likability, my quick wit. I've been told quick wit and the sarcasm. These are my things. I feel like I've only figured that out about 5 months ago. So these are
Right in the middle of COVID.
yeah.
uh,
I
uh,
finally figured out how to really propel my career as it was
who,
tanking.
whoever you were cohabitating with kind of is the one that helped point out the sarcasm.
Exactly.
I'd like to point out that you have like a fantastic work ethic. You kept on rolling with your stuff. You never kind of changed it up. You did had a lot of follow through, which I think, knowing a lot of comedians who never kind of make those next steps, that's something that they lack. What do you think you ascribe your good work ethic to?
I think I've been blessed with this thing inside of me that makes me miserable if I don't keep trying. So I just keep trying because otherwise I feel like nothing is working and I become miserable. So this is a gift I've been blessed with, to just feel horrible that I'm not working hard enough.
I,
And
I I think as a
again,
Canadian entertainer, I don't think you can use the word miserable without paying Jeremy Hotz a little bit. But
that's great. He's amazing. Very cool guy. One of the nicest when I first got to LA. He was like very, very nice person. Very good.
Tracy McDonald is a regular on his. I don't know if it's an Instagram podcast or he does a quick little updates, and she gets to play his stalker every episode.
Oh, cool.
Uh,
That's funny. He's
so
hilarious.
I do want to point out for everybody, Abdul's Butt is on Instagram and Twitter, and I just feel like I set up
Yep.
a porn site.
Perverted.
So Instagram and Twitter, that's where you'll be able to follow Abdul. So you'll get updates on the latest projects he's got, such as Is This It, the album that just came out a couple months ago. And yeah.
And
And
I've
don't
got
forget,
some videos on YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel also.
yeah,
I've
you
put some
just
stuff
released
out.
the new one
A little
about the
parody
So
of the So
Shore.
Shore. Yeah.
Yeah, that nice little drive that everyone has the chance to make if they decide not to live on island. What's your favorite neighborhood in Montreal?
My favorite neighborhood in
Yeah,
Montreal?
yeah,
I don't know if I
because
have a.
because you shit on a lot of places, so I'm just wondering, can you say
I
something
hate them
nice about
all.
something?
I hate them all. This is what I told you. It's this sarcastic, negative attitude that I have. It's
That is
really
your
propelling.
positive.
It's very propelling. Listen, you know what? My favorite neighborhood, it has to be hands down, I think Hampstead. Great neighborhood. Everybody loves it. The houses are beautiful. There's a lot of space on the streets. They have wide streets. I don't know, Paul. I don't know what my favorite neighborhood is. The ones that you don't get stabbed in. I don't know.
Montreal is like one of the. Sorry, I
It's
guess I've
generally
lived.
safe.
I like you. I won't walk around at night in Bathurst, but in Montreal, I'll cross the city on foot. Like
That's funny.
there's safe and there's safe. Montreal is one of the safest cities.
I do like
Period.
old Montreal. I do like old. If I have to say, I'll be a hacky tourist. I do just like the quietness. You know what? I like all of the city. I like all of the city when it's quiet. When all the people are gone, and they're not there and they're sleeping. You ever get that chance when you're walking downtown and it's just quiet and you're like, fuck, finally the assholes have left it. I can enjoy it. I can enjoy what this has to offer.
That is the full purpose of COVID. Actually, that's
Beautiful.
I take my exercise at night. I just go for long walks at night, and the city is like so empty. It's beautiful.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
it is. It's
it's very
creepy.
peaceful. It's peaceful, I think. I think
Yeah,
it's peaceful. And it's very historical. There's so much history behind it. It's such a nice place.
it is. It is. Have you played over in Europe yet? I didn't see anything
No,
about that. No.
never even I've never even been to Europe. No.
Oh wow.
Never
Oh okay.
backpacked, never done drugs there. None of that.
Well, that kills five of my questions. There was.
Oh man, it's gonna be a short interview. Gosh,
Yeah.
thought you did
Yeah.
your research, Paul.
I did my research. I think that you would have when people call Montreal historical. I like Montreal, but when you like walk around the ruins of a castle in Germany that was destroyed 200 years before Columbus played with a toy boat, like that's kind of a
Yeah,
different
no,
level.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Well, that's the one thing I didn't like about the U.S. on the West Coast when I was there is that it's not like a huge. There is a history that's very old, but it's not as. It doesn't feel like. I mean, East Coast history is very rich.
Yeah,
The
it
West
is.
Coast is like by the time they got to the West Coast, they were already screwing everything up. They just wanted to just destroy all of the land.
Burn the wagon so they don't go back. Uh,
Exactly.
what now? We've alluded to COVID and the fact that it's kind of stopped the entertainment industry. What is what do you think about what has happened in the past 8 months?
What do I think about it?
Yeah, what? No, let's get your thoughts out because it's comedy writing and life during COVID. That's the tagline for this show.
Okay.
And if anyone out there has any questions or their own input about what they think is happening, put it in the chat.
What do can you rephrase the question? You want me to tell you what it's like?
Okay,
Tell me what do you want me to answer?
what's okay? Do you entertainment obviously got stopped like
Yeah.
when the COVID and the lockdown happened. Do you think that entertainment is going to just restart up in the same way, or do you think there's going to be changes?
Yeah, okay.
What do you
Um,
think it's going to mean to entertainment going forward,
I think it's
especially
gonna
COVID?
I think it's gonna take a lot. I think it's gonna take longer than we think. I think it's gonna take a few years.
Mm.
I see we're getting a vaccine and everyone's very excited, but it doesn't look like a lot of dosages are available. So it's going to be a while, I think. I think people just need to be patient and
Yeah.
it's going to suck at least for, I hopefully not multiple more years, but I'd say at least another year of, of like slowly rolling back into life. We might get shows again,
Mm.
like how it was at but it seems like it's going to hell right now, Paul.
Well, you've moved online with Bacon No Bacon with Derek. Do
Yeah.
you and that is one of the things is there's been a lot more a birth of online shows. I mean, I'm doing three myself. Uh,
Wow.
um, what's your thoughts on? Do you think this online entertainment is a boom or a sov? Is it just something to hold us over till we get to be back to life, or do you think there's going to be this
No,
online entertainment is going to stick around
I
with at
think
least the
it's
good
gonna
stuff?
I think it'll be here for a bit. I think it's gonna be the new kind of normal for a little bit, and then we'll get back to shows slowly. But I don't think this will go anywhere. I think this
Yeah,
will keep. I think it'll keep rolling with us getting back. Uh, for sure, because people are building something right now, and then people are enjoying it, so they'll still want to keep seeing it afterwards. So why would they just disappear?
yeah, exactly. Now, what's your think? What's your think? What's your take on the anti-maskers and like the barbecue place in Toronto?
Oh, the well, I mean, my take. I don't know. fucking assholes. What do you want me to? Just it's just the fact that like we gotta. It's not real. Like I hate how people try to play it off like it's not real and the government is doing this to us. It's real. Yes, the government might not know the best path to it, to the end result, because this is all new.
Yeah.
And also it's government. There's a lot of red tape everywhere. There's always things that they do that's backwards for whatever reason. So I don't think. I mean, you gotta take it seriously. Just protect yourself and don't spread it for the time being until we can figure this out, and then we can slowly roll back into life.
Wash your hands, wear your mask, socially distance.
Sakes.
Yeah, do you mind if I mention you had a little bit of a health issue? Was it 2 years ago? Three?
My what? My lungs?
Your lungs, yeah.
Fuck, that was. You're not even gonna believe this, buddy. This was Paul Ash days at the Amir.
Oh
That
shit.
was 2011.
Okay, that
2011
man.
and 2012. I had two collapsed lungs 1 year after the next.
All right, so you don't want to get close to these anti-maskers to give
Well,
them a streeter.
I don't know exactly. I don't know if I'm gonna be, one of the weak ones that'll just tither away and die because of this thing, or will I be able to survive it? I have no idea. But I've experienced what it is to have a fucking lung problem and being in the hospital, and
Yeah.
it is not fun. It's not fun at all. You don't know what the hell's going on. They have no clue, and then they're trying to help you, and they don't fucking know. It's scary as shit, and it's your lungs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've got scars. I'm all cut open, so I understand what it's like, and especially how fragile it is. I was in the hospital, and there was a guy they put a guy in my room who got C. difficile. And I was like, what the fuck? Like they took him out of a room with C. difficile and put him in my room because they found out someone that was in his room had it. And then he had it. And I was like panicked. So I can't imagine what it's like today with COVID. Like, and that COVID spreads way faster. So when you're stuck in a hospital and there's a virus going around, it's not fun.
No,
It
definitely not.
sucks.
I have a musician friend who lives in Buffalo who has lost like 30% of his lung capacity. Like he's
Shit.
recovered. He spent
Yeah.
like a month being quarantined away from his family and all that. And he's going to be on blood thinners for the rest of his life because of the risk of clots.
God damn. Yeah.
Just from that. So even people who recovered are still.
For sure, they're still going through problems, which is why it's not a. I love the same take where people go, I'm not scared of this virus. This thing doesn't scare me. And then, you think they could develop a vaccine in 8 months? And it's going to be effective. It's like, why do you act like you know everything about the virus that's been out for 8 months, but the vaccine they've been developing for 8 months, you're like, oh no, that's something else. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm trying. Somebody tweeted about. Was it Dave McConnell? He tweeted. I think it was him that tweeted. It's the same people who's skeptical about what's in the vaccine are the same people who were doing hot knives in high school. Like,
Right. Exactly. And it is you ever notice it's all your friends, all my friends that don't believe in anything and they're all like calling out all this weird conspiracy bullshit are all the ones that were horrible in school, just couldn't understand anything. And you're like, you're not convincing me, buddy. I knew you from grade 4. You've always been a moron. You're not convincing me with this.
ah, oh man. All right. On top of COVID, the entire like George Floyd, the meltdown in the United States, Black Lives Matter. What's your take on that happened? Do you think
On
that's
that,
yeah?
this is a fun show, Paul.
Yeah, seriously. Well, this is we talk about
It's
comedy.
real. That's
We're not
good. That's
comedic.
great. No, that's great. What do I think about it? America's a weird place, man. It's got a lot of problems. Like they've got a lot. Like I know as Canadians, we're always like, well, our natives need water, and yeah, of course they do. But man, America's got some serious problems. Like you just go neighborhood to neighborhood. You don't have to drive 8 hours into the bush to get to a small town that's being neglected. Like you literally can just walk 3 blocks and see an entire community of people being neglected by their own people, and they live next door to each other. You're like, how could that be? So it there's a lot of problems, and it's not a great. I don't know what people think, and this is a big thing that I've been trying to advocate since COVID hit, is that America isn't what we all think it is. It's a horrible place. It's really bad. Like the things that you see there, it's just, man, the homeless situation, and people just walk right by them and say like they don't care. How you could do that, I don't know. Like my first thoughts when I got to LA, just for 3 months, it literally took me 3 months to like kind of desensitize feeling like a horrible person just walking by homeless people constantly, like just constantly. Like it's not a question of like you'll see a homeless guy, Montreal, you see homeless. Now it's getting way worse. It's definitely getting way worse, and I hope it doesn't get worse than this, but it seems like it might. We're losing it. The government's onto us. But no, it seems like, well, it's, again, this is a problem with our rent problems. Once real estate starts to boom, everyone starts making money and housing becomes unaffordable for regular folk. And then that's it. So it was disgusting to see in America. And I hope that doesn't come here to Canada because, yeah, it's not fun. But America's got some problems, man. You see the things and the stuff I've heard from people, and you live in a neighborhood that doesn't seem dangerous, and it's not, but someone still gets stabbed in the neck at the laundromat every fucking 3 days. So it's like, and that's normal to them. They're just like, yeah, whatever. Car chases, and they got the helicopters out. Like, what? Did any of you guys see the problem here, or are we entertaining the problem? Like we're trying to fucking amplify it. It's a weird place. They've got a lot of problems.
So you're going to go back as soon as you can then?
No, I don't think so. I don't know, man, dude. I look, I miss it. I miss it there. It's a great, I mean, the people are good. The people that you meet, that they are good. It sucks. Like you feel bad. Like we're so lucky in Canada. We have no idea how lucky we are. We complain about things. And now, now that I've been to the States and live there, and I see people in Canada complaining about things, I'm like, you have no idea what it's like for these Americans, man. Like they have a really shitty life from start to finish. Unless you're wealthy, your life sucks. Like it's hard. It's a struggle. You're literally put in this bubble. Like the neighborhood you grow up in, generally speaking in Canada, our education level is kind of stable across the board. But in America, it's really the neighborhood you live in, So you can live in a city, but the next neighborhood has a better schooling system, and you're poor. Your neighborhood's poor. So your school sucks. It shouldn't be like that. Like you shouldn't be limited to your access of becoming a more intelligent person based off of income. I don't know. Yeah. It seems, I don't know. Call me old-fashioned, Paul. I don't know.
Oh, you're so old-fashioned. Thinking about people and human rights. Oh, God darn it. You're now. Do you think the Black Lives Matter movement has made a difference? Do you think there's going to be improvements?
I don't know. I hope, but I don't know. I don't think so. I think these things it's just a cycle. It's always like, it just goes like we get into this groove where we want to be helpful, and then we try, and then something else happens and we all forget. I mean, there's a lot of problems. I don't think it's going to disappear. I mean, it's a good step to open people's eyes up, but
basically people are like the dogs in Up, just squirrel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly pretty much what it is. I mean, I think someone told me, it was Derek or someone told me that apparently the NBA is now, like, for the next season, there's going to be no more protesting, no more Black Lives Matter stuff, any of that, because they realize it's killed their ratings. So it's like, this is a thing where you got to look at it and go, yeah, see, they tried, and the money in the end of the day is what talks.
Yeah. But they had the NBA had done a lot of things. They were They were
They're
putting
doing a
money
lot.
aside. They
Exactly. But
they
they lost viewership because of it. Sad, right?
if I had a choice of like making money off of racists or you know or
You're a human, Paul. You're
yeah,
a
all right.
human. These people are not human. They just want the money. That's all it is. They don't care. You're a good person. These people, they're not. They just want money. And that's what ultimately kills it in the end. It's like no matter how hard you try, if you tell a guy, I'll give you 100 grand, he's going to do whatever the hell, like it's like they changes people, you know? It's sad.
What was
Oh,
it? Chappelle walked
every
away
time.
from.
Every time. The government, I tell you.
Did you piss off Elon Musk?
A vaccine's going to be in my email. Go
Chappelle
ahead.
walked away from $50 million when he felt it wasn't doing right. But then again, he already had banked a lot. So
Well, I don't know. I mean, did you see his latest special type thing that he released on YouTube or Facebook or that
the
he
last
was
one, or are you
talking
talking about
about?
A46?
No, just he
The
just
more
released something about Comedy Central not paying him for royalties and all that because he'd signed the contract years ago. He
yeah
had signed it away, basically all his rights, so they could make the money they want to make off the old episodes and they don't have to pay him.
yeah. Well,
So, I mean, I
Netflix
don't
pulled
know.
it. Netflix pulled
Yeah,
it
but I
at
mean,
his request. So
did he really walk away from 50 million is what I want to know, or is that just some inflated number that somebody threw out there and it stuck?
no, it was a 50 million contract for a 5-year deal. I think it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
He got paid some of it because they completed some episodes of season 3.
Right,
But he was already paid for seasons 1 and 2. Right, so
right.
he was safely banked. Like it's like the amount of money that he made in season 1 and 2 was probably be enough for me or you to retire on.
Yeah.
But you know,
Well,
it,
he's a good person, I think is
yeah.
that's where you get that from
Hmm.
because again, just based off of the things that he says when he does speak from the heart and not joking, it's you can tell he is a good person. So the money doesn't, that's a thing where you kind of you go, this isn't worth it if it
The
doesn't make
speech.
you.
Which award was it that he got? Was that he talked about his mom? That was that was a great speech. That was
Oh,
like
the
he was
Mark Twain Award.
Mark Twain Award. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very nice. Yeah, and that's it. He is yeah. So look, man, they're still out there. We're not
Yeah.
all horrible people, so people are still out there. But it comes down to the big wigs, man. That's just where it comes down to, where they keep fucking looking for that money.
Now talking about wigs and horrible people, Trump's out. There's. Do you think that the last election is going to be a positive change in the states? I know we're Canadians, we're up here, but you're a bit of a news junkie, and you have the insight of having spent time in the U.S.
Yeah, I don't think it'll change. I mean, we got to remember, Trump didn't create this America.
No,
Trump was there for four
capitalized.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah, he capitalized. He did. He took that America that already existed and he knew it existed and he harnessed it and built this insanity. And that's what made the last 4 years. But he didn't do this. This was done.
Now,
This is years in the making.
do you think Trump's a genius, or do you think Trump's an idiot?
I think he's smart. People think he's an idiot. He's a psycho, but he's smart. I think he definitely capitalized on a lot of things. He's not an honest person, and he's not a person that gives like has morals. But he's definitely smart. If you think he's not, I mean, you can't say he's not smart because he harnessed. It's a bad thing to do, but it's like a criminal doing a horrible thing. But at the end of the day, you kind of look at it and you're like, holy shit, like that guy is pretty smart. The way he thought of that scam, like you have to
Yeah.
be almost like a genius in wanting to be a horrible person. Like I don't know where these two things come together, but it definitely is. When these two traits do mix, they make people that are insanely smart but horrible.
Hmm.
They take advantage of people. They do these things that That's Trump. I can't say he's not smart. He's definitely smart, man. He convinced, and he almost won again. It was very close. So it's sad to see, and it's horrible to like even think of it as it, but he did it. He came so close.
Yeah, the gerrymandering and et cetera. How the U.S. is set up for elections. What's your take on do you know about different electoral systems around the world? Is there any that you think are great or?
I have no idea about around the world, man. I can't learn
Okay.
them all. I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe
I
Scandinavia's doing it right. I don't know. Beirut, maybe their local politics are good. I don't know. I've never
okay.
followed their system.
Was it? I think it was Norway that jailed all the bankers, or was it? One of the Scandinavian countries. They jailed the bankers and fired the politicians. It was like, and they held a new
That's
election
great.
for everything. Yeah. Australia has a neat one where they have their House and their Senate, but one of them is proportional representation. So you have your election, and where the first across the line wins in whatever area, but they have multiple parties because you take a look at the total number of votes and say the Green Party got 10% of the votes, even though they got no seats. In the Senate, they have 10% of the seats. So
Okay.
it's I don't know if I'm saying House and Senate which one's which, but in my brief understanding of how Australia does it, it's kind of, I think it's a neat thing.
Yeah.
Now, what's your thoughts on Canada through this with what's happening?
With what's happening, I just
With
hope
with
we keep it together. I just hope Canadians keep it together and not start turning on each other and turn into Americans with that dirty politics. Conservatives are trying it. Aaron O'Toole with his tweets all the time with that whole, he always plays that angle with we as Canadians. And then
yeah,
it's like, listen, buddy, it's you as a conservative. Don't address we as Canadians with conservative policies. All right, that's
yeah,
what you're peddling, but it's not what we're thinking. So I just hope they don't like try that stuff and start playing that trump card where you're trying to manipulate the public to start wanting to believe you because you touch a nerve and that's how they feel about something and they want justice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Two hopes for the future.
Two hopes for the future? I'm a negative guy, buddy.
I
You don't
know.
want
I
two hopes.
thought I'd test you this
Two
way.
hopes. That's really hard, man. I can give you -1 hope. Uh, two hopes. Hopefully we get past this pandemic and hopefully we learn to be nicer and understanding for others around us and not just ourselves and our vacation to Maui that got canceled. How dare they? How dare they? I was going to go to Maui. They canceled my trip to Maui. Who cares about those people dying in the hospital? Maui.
It's so delightful that you were able to sneak in a negative on the wonderful final thoughts, the two positives. Abdul, I really want to thank you. Is there anything else you want mentioned before we're out of here? What's the days that people can listen to Bacon No Bacon?
Every Friday, we're on YouTube and all your comedy podcasting platforms, whatever it is, we're
Okay.
on there.
Is it a set time of day or just tune in Fridays?
Friday at midnight, it drops. We always drop a new episode.
Dropping a new episode every Friday at midnight. Bacon, no bacon. It is Abdul Butt and Derek Seguin. Please check it out. Do you know when you have anything else coming up? Because I know they've been doing some debaters and all that.
No, I've got nothing that's bigger than that. I've only got a podcast and I'm making new videos on my YouTube channel. So go subscribe to that. And yeah, the website, abdulbutt.com for everything else.
And that I think is going to be it. Thank you everybody
Thanks.
for tuning in. Thank you, Abdul, for being part of it. Look at the camera so we see your eyes. There we are. Abdul Butt. This has been They Talk Funny. I'm Paul Ash. Join us next week when I talk with Martha Chavez. Same time, 8 p.m. Tuesdays. This is a Tuesday, right? Do they blend together at this time?
Is
I
it
don't know.
Tuesday? It is
Yeah,
Tuesday.
it is Tuesday.
Yeah.
It is Tuesday. See you next week.